push. Morning as everybody is flowing in. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Beautiful people. Let me scroll. You know, I like to see your eyes. I just come to the camera for a quick moment so I can lay eyes on the beautiful people. I need your presence, need your presence, need your beautiful smiling faces. Come on, take the camera off so I can see you. I need to see your eyes. All right. I see Anya. Hello, Anya. Hello, Ali, Chanel. Molly, you still hiding behind the camera. I just need to lay eyes on you right quick to connect with y'all spirits. Blessings. Let's see who else I'm looking at. Hello, Latoya. Omega. Deidre, greetings. Samira. And Goddess Tracy is online. Okay, all right. All right, so all are here. So real quickly, I just want to, before we get started, just take a couple of breaths so we can close the circle in, as we can connect as breath in one. So everybody just take a moment. We're going to do 5 deep breaths. If you choose to close your eyes, you can close your eyes or just lower your gaze to the floor, whichever is most comfortable for you. So let's take a nice deep breath in and release out through the mouth. Good job. Another deep breath in and release out. Again, another deep breath in and release out. Breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Inhale, breathe in love, peace, and joy, and hold it. 2, 3, and exhale, releasing all that no longer serves our higher selves. Bringing us together, I thank all the spirits, the ancestors, and guides tonight. From the east, west, south, and north, we call upon all to guide us in today's meeting that we are safe, we are whole, we are healthy as we come together as one to ignite and enlighten each other. Thank you, everybody, for your presence today. Thank you for showing up. Hopefully, all has been going well with you guys as we're coming into this last segment of the Shamanic Reiki practitioner program. So, I am just overly excited about tonight's guest. I'm trying to figure out how I can see this so I can see everybody at one time. I don't know how these views. I'll keep it back on the speaker. But tonight, as you guys, I think everybody except Dr. Latoya are under my lineage of Reiki. So all the energy that y'all see in me and you, we bless each other through this lineage. I am just so excited tonight for my Reiki teacher, my light that came to me at a beautiful time, as all of you have stated to me in the process of becoming Reiki practitioner, how it calls you, and it had to be a particular face and person that that led you to the light. You know, it couldn't just be anybody. So I say again, I always tell my journey of going through my attunement, and it was a very dark time for me of soul searching. I always say I was in a marriage that was just flatline, must I say, but and I was a zombie, must I say, at that point in time, and had doing a lot of my work about the chakras and was just so excited about it. I'm like, man, if I would have learned about this before grad school, I don't know if I would have got my master's in counseling because I would have just used the chakras in my work. And I saw how do you unblock your chakras and was reading about it. And that's when I was reading and I saw Wiccan and all this stuff, you know, being a bougie Presbyterian Christian. I was like, oh, no, this is not, nope, can't do this. Nah, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this with white people. That was our thinking. So I let it go. And then one day, just out of nowhere, I decided to scroll again and look up Reiki teachings. and Goddess Tracy picture showed up, and I'm like, oh, this is a sister. She's in the art. If I'm gonna do Reiki, I'm gonna do Reiki for her. So I love this lady. I'm gonna turn it over to her. So all that know me and know my other side, my higher self, that gangster goddess that come out. Let me tell you, y'all ain't seen nothing until y'all meet and talk to Tracy, because she is somebody that is going to bring it real. She's going to bring it with truth. She's coming to us from Guyana tonight. So I'm just going to, and she is a goddess. Let me say, of a goddess, mentor, woman, feminine energy. I've learned so much from her. And I know how y'all always can say y'all can go on and on and on and on about me. Well, I can go on and on and on about this lady and how she is connected to me, even from afar in Guyana. Sometimes she'll hit me up with messages, and I'm like, and I don't want to call her back because I know she about to get my ass. So I know exactly how y'all feel sometimes, especially those of y'all to get those early morning calls that they be like, I know everybody like, I ain't talking to her then because I know what she doing and what we about to get. But I get the same thing. So it goes around. And eventually, I'm pretty sure if y'all got the gangster goddess energy in this lineage, then I'm pretty sure y'all gonna give it to somebody. So, Tracy, please show this. Come in. This is a free fall. This is for the students that are completing this 6-month shamanic Reiki. And I just want you to share with them who you are, your journey, where you are, any words of advice that you can share with this crew tonight. Welcome, welcome.
Am I on?
You're on. We
Am I
can't
on,
see you.
Asha?
Yeah, we can't see you, but you're on.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what I have to do. Let me see. What do I have to do to get my camera on? Do you know?
Start video.
Yeah. Down at the bottom, it
Let's
should be a
see.
little camera.
Oh, here we go. Start video.
Yep.
Okay, here we
There
go.
you go. Hello, beautiful.
Switch camera. Let's see. Switch.
Oh, you was there for a moment.
Hi.
There you go.
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. This is wild because this is like the fact that I have Wi-Fi in my studio now is a huge deal. Like huge. Usually I'll try to be on my little phone trying to do Zoom calls. Like, yeah, so this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment. I was I was thinking a lot about the idea of what to share. And I don't know, just even beginning to talk. It's been a very emotional time. My biggest and most recent knowing is being present and really mastering being present. You know, I could tell you all in the last however many years what I've been doing and blah, 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 blah. But what really matters right now is mastering being present. The idea that each moment that we step into, we are stepping into an answered prayer. And the energy of what we bring and what we manifest is completely our knowing and our responsibility. And creating our story moment by moment. And so I was thinking, in that idea of mastering, I want everybody to say hi who could say hi. And I really want to use just this couple minutes to give us an example of what that means. Because I can say living present, living moment by moment, and I can assume that everybody understands that, but I'm learning that that's not the case. So can somebody volunteer to come on and have a little conversation with me?
I would love
coming?
to.
Who's coming? Come on.
This is hi, I'm Karen.
Hi.
Pleasure meeting you.
Hey, Karen.
It's
You too.
Thank you. It's I guess it's synchronicity that earlier today I had a performance review at work, and I talked about because of what my job is, 8 to 5, I tend to apply that same application in my personal life, which is um,
Mhm.
I think forward because I lead change, so I have to think forward at the end, and then I think backward of how to get there. And so I manifest that way,
Mhm.
but that what I said to myself was I'm always thinking in the future. I said the words out of my mouth. I'm never in the present.
Mhm.
And so the fact that you didn't know what you were going to talk
Mhm.
about and you arrived at stay in the present, I could come up here and say, I'm this, I've done that, but that doesn't matter. And you've already just touched me. So I just wanted to share that.
Mhm. Thank you. And that's,
Thank you.
I have I call them a crew of my daughters, and I call them like they've mastered the swing back and the swing forward. And I was like, what is it about this being present that makes people so uncomfortable? I like to give the examples like when you're at a party and you're having a really good time, and somebody will say, oh, we need to do this more often. And then everybody mentally leaves that party and starts thinking about the next party. And I say, but wait. Are we done with this party? Like, I thought we were still at this party. Like, can we all come back to this party and continue to enjoy this party? Right. And so I said, what is it about the moment? And what I realized is that being present is very intimate, and you feel very vulnerable, and we're uncomfortable in that intimacy and vulnerable space. And that's why I think, you can meet someone, and when you're really present, you feel like you've just fallen in love, because it's so much going on. It's so much going on that, we're like, we want to run from it, because it's just like because we don't know how to just be in that space. It requires breathing, just to be there, to be present, to feel and to hear. um and what's beautiful is because moments keep coming, is that we get all these times to practice moment by moment, um and I really, I really think it's really important that, even you mentioned, Karen, about taking your journey into work. The idea that we think we can turn off the spiritual journey when we're at work, or we're with the kids, or where we're at school, means that we're missing out on the magic. And right now, I think, the idea that the magic exists all the time, whether we're with a client, whether we're in the shower, whether we're talking to our children's teacher or our children, or in the grocery store, if we understand that absolutely every connection is a divine connection, every connection is a divine connection. And to take those moments and really honor the divine in every moment. Somebody exchanging money at the grocery store, giving somebody money at the toll booth, absolutely everything. Um, it makes our life so rich and so wonderful. And the idea of, the future, because guess what? The future is gonna come. It just keeps coming. Like, it's guaranteed something's gonna happen. So we're missing so much in this moment. So a lot of times I've heard, we're looking for guidance. In the quietness of the moment, we are guided all the time. When we get confused, whether we're thinking about, well, what do I need to do tomorrow? What do I need to do in the next hour? The quietness of the moment, we're divinely guided all the time. The biggest challenge is the obedience. We know what to do. We know what to do in every single moment. It's just the obedience and the trust and the faith to move forward in those moments. It's interesting, you know, I grew up in all the churches, Baptist, AME, Unity, everything. And I love to sing, absolutely love to sing. And so I want to share a story with you, just in the understanding of how every moment is a moment. So I was in a little country called Suriname, and these brothers were playing, and I'm on a journey to find my voice, I say. And so I go up to the piano player and I said, I'm on a journey to find my voice. And he says, well, take the mic. I said, now? He said, well, you're not ready? So I took the mic and I started to sing, and that started our journey together. A year later, he told me his story. He said, Tracy, when you walked in, I said, something's up with her. If I play this on the piano and she comes over, then I know that what I'm feeling is what I'm really feeling. So he played, I come over, and we end up singing. And so, you know, it's like, and now we've been on this, I think I've known him for about 4 years now. And we're on this beautiful music journey together, playing, being present, and all the synchronicities that, you know, we think that are, I think that I want to really just be here for a minute, because we think these things are just happening. We think this like, oh, it's just like a one-off, or every now and again. Like, these things are happening all the time, in every moment, right now, in this moment, all the time. There's no such thing as like a, you know, I think the word, I say coincidence, was created so that we really wouldn't understand that everything is divine. It's not a coincidence, it just is. Everything is just is. You know, these illusions of randomness. Nothing's random. And when we claim everything on our journey, everything, not some things that are convenient, everything. There's so many beautiful lessons. We're just, you know, and we miss them because what do we want to do? We want to swing back, or we want to swing forward. So what's happening right here, right now, the sacredness of right here, right now is missed because we're distracted by the past or the future. So I really want to encourage us to use our practices. I know that we practice on others, but to also really use our practices and our talents for ourselves. Those of you who have creative things, use them for yourself. If you sing, sing to yourself. We're always exporting things to other people, right? Draw for yourself, dance for yourself, and then share them. It's funny. I think it's a vibe, right? So every time you get a talent, like I learned how to do some kind of glass painting, and the first reaction was, oh, you should teach a class. It's like, can I just do this for me? Can I just sit and paint this glass for me? Is it always about a class or this or that? Just, you know, and it's not about being selfish, but what we need to be okay every day, we have to elevate. I mean, like, for real, because what's going on is no joke. And I call it and I want to look at it as armor, because armor creates the illusion that we need to be protected. And when we walk in the knowing that we are always divinely protected and guided in all moments, we don't have to walk around with thinking that we need the shield, because we are always divinely protected at all times. At all times. I mentioned to Asha in our last chat about being outside. And I want to say this out loud to you all. To do your practice outside as much as possible, no matter what the weather. Just get out there, get in the sun, get in the rain, be a little chilly, It's okay to sweat, you know, be outside, because y'all got to get ready to come to Guyana. And when you come to Guyana, we got heat, we got all the bugs, we got all the creatures, everything ready for you all. But it's a really, the nature offers so much. And I really want to just put that out there. I also want to just suggest to get some books on how you can so when nature comes to you, there's, I think it's Animal Speaks is one of the books, so that you can look it up and get the lessons, right? I didn't bring it, but there's this huge book called Metaphysical Anatomy. It's a amazing investment, but it's like, so we really have to realize that our mind creates everything in our bodies. So so that when you're able to look up the metaphysical connection, and to, so then in the healing process, because we can take all the herbs and whatever, but if we don't put our minds in the right place, that healing cannot be complete. So Metaphysical Anatomy, Animal Speaks are two of my go-to spaces. Let me see what, any questions? Anybody want to jump on and share? Hi, who's this? Anya? Hey. Oh, you gotta take your I think your voices. Okay. Hey.
Great day, Miss Tracy. I'm Anya. Nice to meet you.
You too.
So I appreciate everything you said, and the book that you mentioned, Animal Speak. Today I found myself having conversations with cardinals. They're one of the birds that come to me quite often, and they usually fly in my backyard. And like today, they kept coming to the fence directly in front of my door. And like earlier today, I felt like it sent my cat to come get me, like, hey, come outside. Like I know their sound, like their chirp. It's just really crazy. But like right before we logged on, like the bird was on the fence in front of my door, and we were like having a conversation. I'm trying to figure out, like, is this a spirit guide? So I said goodnight, and like it chirped, and I went in the house and it flew off. It was really wild. So it's just kind of cool that she said that.
Thank you. You know, also to remember that I believe that those who transition in our life, you know, I don't believe in, you know, the idea of death, that you don't have a connection. So my husband made his transition 2 years November, and he has shown up in many forms. And one of them is the mop mop bird. I was in Tobago, and he was the mop mop bird. He comes and like he came from Tobago, followed me back to Guyana, you know. And so one is, even if you don't have a book to look up these things, right? It's to being comfortable with how you feel at that moment, right? You know, the thing of, oh, I'm crazy. Like all those words of crazy, blah, blah, like let all of that go. Like really to embrace what's going on. Really embrace, pretend like you are a cartoon and you're just living in this world where the birds come and you talk to the birds, you talk to whoever comes, right? Like in your space, because why not? And I want to lay out the idea that we create our stories. We create our stories. And if you allow anyone or anything to create your story for you, you are fucked. That's it. Bottom line. Create your story moment by moment. So why not in your story, the cardinals come to give you this information? And why not your cat come and tell you, hey, this is what's going on. Come outside because this is what, because why not? Doesn't that make sense? You know, doesn't that make you feel good? Doesn't that make you like, la la la, like, cause, you know? you know, that like creating our moments of joy for ourselves, creating our reality moment by moment is so important. And if anything you speak, anything you speak does not bring you joy, then stop speaking it. It's simple. Just stop. Just, you know, and if you speak it and you're like, rewind, bring it back, because everything we speak comes to light. Everything. So if things aren't flowing the way you want them to flow, it's because you're not speaking your divine flow. It's real, it's not complicated. You know, it's really not complicated. And there's so much joy and magic in every moment, you know, every moment, every opportunity, that we create our story piece by piece. Like, you know, even this moment, we're in my art studio. You know, I'm originally from New York, just so you know a little bit, but just in this terms of, you know, I'm from New York, living in Guyana, in the forest. I wake up to the monkeys in the morning, passing by. And when I say living a life that each moment, if it's my last day on earth, I am so happy. There is no fear, right? There's absolutely no fear. I'm here in the forest by myself, right? And in the sense of by myself with no other humans at this moment, right? Because, like, you know, the spirits, we jamming. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, right? But, you know, people say, are you afraid? Afraid of? No, there's no fear. I had a friend who was like campaigning for fear. Like, everybody needs a little fear. Really? Do we? Because when we're obediently guided, we know what to do. You know, I know when to look down when the little ants are going by who can tear my butt up. And so I look down, oh, let me step over the ants because I'm present. It's when my mind goes all over the place, is when we do stupid stuff, you know? But for each moment, I really want us to, you know, take this away, no matter what you're practicing, no matter what you're doing, you know, is to really just take your practice, to take your everything into knowing that everything is always okay, that I have all the answers that I need at that moment. And if you don't have the answer yet, it's because it's not time. It's just not time. It's like, well, what do I do? Guess what? You got so much to do right in this moment. It's so much to do. And when the answer for whatever's supposed to come, it'll come. Everything. To really say that's the goal. To really have that knowing that I'm good. I'm good. Not sometimes, all the time. All the time. You know, and when you feel a little bit off, make sure you're writing, you know, dancing, being in your body, living life like nobody's watching. I don't know how much Asha used the word fuck, but it's one of my favorite words. You really can't give a fuck.
Yes, they hear it often. Yeah.
Yeah, you really, 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 you know, you really have to live your joy. Really, cause this is it. This is really it. When you, and just really check yourself. Anytime you just feel yourself going off a little bit, you know, talking about anything beyond yourself, pull it back in, regroup, because you're giving your power away. When you're talking too much about the past, you know, bring it forward. You know, if you're talking too much about what's, you know, yeah, we know, okay, I know in August I'm going on a trip. And I had told myself, well, you know, I'm going on this big trip. I got to put my money aside for the trip, and I can't take any trips until the trip. I was like, you know what? I ain't going to make it on the trip. if I don't take care of myself just to get on the trip? Because there is no lack. There is no, oh, either or. It's all for us. It's really all for us to claim each moment. And there's no okey doke. That's why we don't live no okey doke. Everything we live is because this is what, is there for us on our divine journey. Yeah. Anybody else want to pop in? I don't know what our time
Tracy, I
is
just
like,
wanted to
because I
say
know I can
something.
go.
I wanted to speak
Uh-huh.
on the fact of, because many in this group and many are going through this phase. I think people are going through clearing phases. And like you said, we're not being present,
Mm,
or we're basing things upon the past, or that anxiety, where we're going and what's not
mm,
working. Like many, I can't get a
mm,
job, I can't keep a job, or I can't get housing. And I start thinking, like, sometimes we get so focused on what we think that we're not realizing. So that's why I like to do a lot of retreats outside our comfort zone, outside the
mm,
country. So I know
mm,
when I got a tune from you in Charlotte, that was in 2009. Was that at that time, was it a dream? Was it a vision that you wanted to live in Guyana? Because what I'm wanting people to understand, that we don't have to stay where the fuck we are. There's a bigger world that is out there. And I love Tracy, because
right.
Tracy is one to tell me in a minute, girl, have multiple husbands. Why you just weren't on one? You know, where we get concept, well, I don't know about this one. She was like, fuck that. Live your life. So it goes back to, I want to know, what was that like for you, making that move to Guyana? And even the last person that spoke, she just moved to
Mm-hmm.
Costa Rica. It's like a calling. And I always think, I want people to hear that, because we
Mm,
can get so stuck
mm-hmm.
in our roots here and don't think we have roots
Mm-hmm.
elsewhere. But what was that journey
Yeah.
like? Because I see where you are
Mm,
now. When you started and when you moved over there, you
mm,
just had some
mm,
basic stick
mm,
housing, and now you have
mm, mm.
developed this whole complex.
Well, let me
So
tell you,
just share a
I
little bit
love
of
my
what that
stick
journey
house.
was like, just to say, yeah.
It's very
Mhm.
interesting. I lived in Dominica for 9 years. This was in the 90s. And at the time, my then husband, we was coming to Guyana to buy wood. Guyana is full of beautiful hardwoods. And so I told him I want to go. He was like, "No, you can't go." And I was like, "Man, I've always wanted to go to Guyana. Like, it's, in the States, the only thing we really know about Guyana is Jim Jones. But every time, and I've watched that crazy movie, I can't tell you how many times, because there was something about Guyana. They would say Guyana. And I was like, it would just like hit right here. And so I didn't get to go to Guyana when we were married. So fast forward, I'm, living my life, and I meet my more recent husband on blackpeoplemeet.com. I got picked out in a slideshow. And I said, "Where you from?" And he said, "Guyana." And I said, "Let's go." And he's like, "No, maybe 8 to 10 years." I said, "Baby, we won't last 8 to 10 years in the United States. We have to go. The United States is too hard on relationships. We got to go." And part of our journey was his willingness to step forward. And so this is how we come to Guyana. The wild thing is, a couple shows up one day from Dominica, and they said, "We have a friend who would absolutely love this place." And I said jokingly, "As long as it's not my ex-husband." And they said, "No, it couldn't be your ex-husband, because his first wife died and now he's married to Carol." And I said, "Oh, is his name Rabes?" And they looked at me and they said, "But no, 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 you couldn't have been." They said, "We have dinner with he and his wife every Sunday." And I said, "Yes, in the castle." And she's looking at me, and I said, "All that stonework you see in this place where you're having dinner, I did. All the artwork you see in it, I did." And they said, "But," I said, "You understand that somebody has written me out of out of their life, right?" It's like, so when they were in shock. So it's everything like as it's supposed to be. So it's like, okay, no, you can't go to Guyana. Okay, no, I guess I'll get to live in Guyana. I was just recently in Tobago, and Tobago has caught my heart. And it's not in replacement of Guyana. It just offers that island life where Guyana is forest. It's beautiful forest, nature, black water, you know. And again, we don't have to live in either or. So I'm like, oh, I could get on a plane at 5 a.m, be in Tobago at the beach by 9 o'clock. Cause why not? Cause why not? We can have everything we want. You know, I have found my financial freedom in no bills. I don't want no bills. None. I don't want anything because it blocks my creativity when I have to think, oh, what I have to do at the end of the month and blah, 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 you know? So it's like no bills. Just live free, you know, strategize with the universe. What we doing? And if, you know, this thing about jobs and whatever, like, no, we got too much talent, too many opportunities, you know, things we're not doing because we're worried about what somebody gonna say. Mm-mm. No, no, no. We have to live our bliss. And don't talk to anyone who is not living their happily ever after. So if you don't have anybody you could talk to, then read a book. Because that energy will wipe you out. They're not on their journey to their happily ever after. They're living their happily ever after. That has to be your, right? Your crew, right? Of support, living, you know? Yeah, it's yes, living your happily ever after. And even this land, I went to the realtor and I said, you know, I want to be in the forest, trees, water, neighbors, but way down the road. Way down the road. Because don't like wearing, I like to be free, clothing optional when I don't have guests. You know, when y'all come, we get the skinny dip. I'm on a mission to get women of color to skinny dip for the first time, you know, and to think like, I remember one day my husband sent a woman down to the creek and I was swimming. I have on no clothes and I'm bopping around. And I was like, hi, how you doing? Da-da. And I said, you know what? My job is to plop around in the creek, swimming nude, and greet guests and say, hi, how you doing? You know, I was like, oh my God. And like when I cook what I want to eat. I don't do menus. So when I serve guests, it's like, what do I want to eat? Right? And so, you know, I ask if you have any allergies and that kind of thing, you know. And even in my offerings, think about your offerings that you're offering are things that you would want. Not just doing it because you can, but doing it because this is what you would want for yourself. So even in your business creation, you're creating what you would want. And that's what sustains you, right? I'm living my life and I let people come and share my life with them, right? So you're stepping into my world, so to speak, right? It's not about, oh, well, this is what people need. No, no, no. This is Tracy, and you get to step in Tracy's world. So what would it be like to step in your world where you are truly showing up as you with all your gifts and all your offerings, right? And really just sharing that, you know, whether you get paid or not, right? That's the level it has to sustain you because it brings you so much joy that you're good. You know, when I was making jewelry, I'm making jewelry because I love making jewelry. If I didn't sell it, I would wear it. When I do my tie-dye, it's like I'm making stuff I want to wear. It's like, you like it? I take it off, sell it. Okay, here we go. I made a bag once. I was in New Jersey, and this lady was like, "Oh my God, I like your bag." I'm like, "Okay." Like I took my stuff out, sold my bag, just keep it. And it's not like, oh, I could make another one, but it's just like the freeness. You all are, those of you who are in the United States, you really have to understand that the United States was not created for your bliss. And I think once you understand that you really have to understand, you have to create your own infrastructure, no matter where you are. And no matter where you go, the constant is you are going to be you no matter where you go. Right? So if you're still in the States or wherever you are, who are you? What are you bringing to the table? If things aren't showing up the way you really want them to show up, it's because you're not showing up the way you really need to show up in everything. Make yourself an amazing cup of tea, right? Get up in the morning, get up in that like 3-4 o'clock. I hear people say, oh, ooh, that's early. Well, what else you doing? That's the download time. Get up, light your candle, and because it's amazing. It's amazing. I got up one time at 4 o'clock, and I'm never online that early. Spirit said, go on Instagram. Instagram, they have the live pictures. So this picture came on there. My husband's name was Warren. It said Warren Live. It's like, I was like, okay, it's like, you're going to play on Instagram, huh? And the thing was, how you usually see the person's face nice and clear? All I could see was his red cheeks, and it's the silhouette of his head. And it's just Warren Live, 4 o'clock in the morning on Instagram. It's like, okay. And thing is, we don't bring fear. We don't be like, oh my God. It's like, no, oh my God, gratitude. Gratitude in all of it. And if things are not working out, right? That's the last time we're going to say things are not working out. You understand? Because in each moment, things are opening up more and more and more. In each moment, I'm getting all the information I need to be divinely guided at all times in each moment. There's zero conversations of lack and negativity. Don't put on the news, light a candle. If you say, well, that's not being responsible, pray for everybody. Somebody got something happen, pray for them. Because remember, we'll be divinely guided. So anything go down, you're gonna know before everybody else. It's time to make a move.
Mm-hmm.
Time to make a move. Turn right, turn left, what to do. Right? Really figure out your story. Make sure it's your story, not your mama's story, not your husband's story, not your kid's story, your story. If you have children, be the example of divineness for them. Anything else come up? Ooh, I'm just as red. Anything else come up, Ash?
I just always love just talking to you. I just was sitting here reflecting, and when you was talking about starting out, nothing is a coincidence. And I was thinking, you guys, you're right, nothing is a coincidence. And even when it's tribe, when it's divine connections, is never coincidence. And I think back to how deep it is. I remember when I tell y'all how I was looking for Reiki when I was going through a dark place and was going through a separation and trying to decide. And when I went to Tracy said, yes, I got some friends who's going through something too. They going through a breakup too and going through a separation. Well, y'all, how about the couple she was friends with became my baby daddy? I ended up meeting her friend as they was going through their separation. I ended up meeting her ex-husband. And the beautiful thing about it, her friend that was my child's father's ex-wife, she walked me to the casket when he died. That's when I talk about synchronicity, goddesshood, and sisterhood. Because that's when learning of a higher self of what real love is and what tribe. It was a thing that if he loved her, I loved her. We showed each other respect. We were still family and sister and energy. So it's just no sickness that with her Tracy being this middle part, whatever. Maybe it was for me to be attuned to be in alignment for that to occur. Because remind you, like I said, heck, I wasn't thinking about getting pregnant at 40 something after the divorce. And my son's father wasn't thinking about having no kids. He just got divorced and he was 52 at the time. He was 12 years older than me. But life don't have, sometimes the destiny is not within our control, but we have to be present. So I just say that you never know places, synchronicity. I know Ali and Samira will always have this story of how they met in Reiki, and now look at them. And then we did commitment ceremonies in Puerto Rico. There's beauty, blessings, and magic everywhere, everywhere, all the time. For all of us being on this call at this time, getting the energy and the downloads of pure love, energy, and wisdom is to activate us. And to activate, as we are getting activated, we activate others. So I always say this divine. I know I've been talking about it for a minute, and Tracy always saying divine. 2025, we will be going to Guyana, y'all. So just understand that would be a whole nother journey that of awakening. I'm ready to go and get in the, what is it, the Black Lake? What do you call that beautiful
The
water
black
there?
water.
The black
The black
water.
water. It's basically you're soaking in a teacup, right? So all the luscious things that come from leaves, it just is infused in the water, and then it gets in your skin, and it's just a beautiful, luscious moment.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Two things, Asha. I want to just put out that sometimes in this journey, right, that we need to, in telling our story, is to reclaim our story. So I've been married 4 times. And what I did was I went to each marriage and claimed my superpower, the things
Mm.
that I learned about myself in each of those offerings. That's what I'm calling my partners now, or my offerings. So I had these offerings and all the things. And so when you really, because when my husband passed, I just turned 60. I'll be 61 this September. And so I said to myself, I want to celebrate this, like, how did I get here? I wanted to create my own rites of passage, right? And so as I said that, I went online, and Ilana Van Zant was just popped up, her giving her first rites of passage. So I said it, I go on the phone, boom, there it is, right? When I went through the whole journey with her and 500 women of color from around the world, I get to North Carolina and I see Asha, and Asha said, well, how are you going to get to the retreat? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm going somehow. And she's like, well, I got a friend who I'm having lunch with, right? Now, I've journeyed all the way from Guyana. I'm in North Carolina. I don't know how I'm getting up to Boone, North Carolina, but I know I'm going. Yeah, I called the bus. That didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. But I know I'm going. And so Asha has a friend she's having lunch with who's going to the same retreat. Again, it's not about randomness. It's just, no, because I'm going. When we were at the retreat, we were supposed to have a white cloth to wrap us up for one of the ceremonies, and I hadn't brought one. So my girlfriend and I, when I met there, we're talking about needing this white cloth, and I was like, "Oh, look, there goes one on the bench." Boom, just everything. It wasn't like we had. It was just right. Everything. You have to understand. Everything is always where we need it, not sometimes, every time. You understand? Every time. And the more we're in that idea of course it's going to be there. Of course everything is going to be okay. I just came from Suriname. I was at the ferry And I was telling this brother, I was like, man, you know, I didn't get to have my morning spliff. And he looked at me, he was like, well, I got it. You got paper? I'm like, yeah, well, here's the paper. And here we are chilling at the ferry, having our morning libation. Just so. Because why not? Because why not? In everything. You understand? Not some things, in everything. And the more you know, you just get it, right? You get it. It's like, you know, it's not a one-off. It's not a, you know, and really understanding these things of the things of like we look at as dark or light or heavy, you know, and to really embrace the lessons. You know, what were those lessons? Where am I? Like, you know, to really, and you get to see patterns. I don't know if those of you who pull cards, I'm sure you've noticed, especially if you do it over a span of time, you start pulling the same cards over and over and over again. You know, you could flip them, blah, blah, blah. Here it comes, right? It's because it's just connecting to who you are and showing you who you are as you walk this earth, you know, and to be it, to be it. Any of those moments where you're like, I'm not sure, you know, do the thing. And it's mostly women here. Is it, we have any brothers here with us?
We have 2 brothers.
Okay. So for the women, I call it the when your brain gets a little foggy, it's the titty shake. So literally, like you recalibrate your body by shaking your titties, right? The brothers, like for real, no, it's it feels so good. It's like the snow glow, you know, everything will be settled. You got to shake it up, right? Shake it up, and like seriously, recalibrate, shake your titties, brothers. Spread your legs, let everything free up and shake it. I remember seeing this, it was a dick swinging competition. I didn't even know, like, and they were swinging the dicks, right? Like this, I was like, oh my God, like, like that is amazing. And it was a competition, right? And they were like, woo, they were long and they were swinging. So I said, wait a minute, if they could swing their penises like that, we could swing our breasts like that. But we're so conditioned to what? We got to hold everything in and up and blah, 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 right? Let me tell you, these breasts, no matter what you got or don't have, work it. Work those things and let them like shake you up and, you know, do what you have to do. And, you know, as I'm doing this, I just want to have to bring in the lymphatic system to make sure we are massaging ourselves, massaging our bodies, you know, as if, you know, I have a friend who loves to massage, and she's like, you know, every time I get in a relationship, I'm massaging him more than myself, right? You got to bring it home, to take that time at night, in the morning, to massage yourself, get yourself ready. And I'm gonna tell you, the titty shake, the titty or the testicle shake, whatever you got going on, shake them up. Because, you know, we're so out of touch with things that our bodies want to do. We're so out of touch with the things our bodies can do and love to do, you know. So I wanted to say that out loud. And, you know, I'm here. You don't have to wait for Asha to say you can call Tracy anytime. It's open. But really, you know, you all, as you can see me, you can see yourself. And I want to offer that in life, right? When we look at conflict, when we look at connecting, when we decide somebody is an enemy, right? Is you're seeing yourself. So until you can, you know, I tell people, if you can really see me, then you can see you. Like really see me. You know, we're too much in reaction mode and not creation mode. Even in the idea of creating your reactions. So something happens, how do you choose to react? Create your situations in everything, not some things, everything is about creating moment by moment. And just like you can take a picture on your phone and expand it, do that with every moment. Expand each moment, see the intricacies of each moment and what's going on. And get outside. Get outside every day. Put your feet on the earth. Get your toes dirty. Put them in the sand. Put them in the dirt. Right? Yes. Yes. Anybody else want to say anything? You good?
Y'all quiet?
Okay.
I'm gonna tap
Quiet.
in. I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna tap in. How you
Good,
doing, Miss Tracy?
Hey, hey. Good,
So
good.
you said you was mentioning being outside and like the nature. So I was doing some plant medicine ceremony about 3 weeks ago, and we had the campfire burning, and we was really like just in the moment. And I felt the wind. I heard the wind, and I turned my head like somebody there, but I knew it was nature talking. And then it was when I made a post last week. I'm out here playing with this magic, and it rained on my head. So the wind blew. It was talking, and then it kind of rained like a confirmation, like I'm here with you at your commands. Just let me know. So I had that little knowing about 3 weeks ago, right after our plant medicine ceremony. So can you tell what that means or where to go from that?
But that's it. Get back outside. Just stay outside. It's not, it's about you knowing. It's not about me telling you. It's about you knowing what you know, how you felt at that time. That's it. That's it. We don't need to make things complicated and layered and just, didn't it feel good for that wind to blow through your locks and then the rain to come down? Didn't you feel good? That's it.
Yeah.
It's okay for just to feel good.
Yeah. But going back, it was just going back. It was going back to being in the moment of what you was talking about in the beginning. Just going back to being in the moment.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Just being in the moment. That's it. Yep. And and taking those, if you need to, sometimes we need a boost and a reminder, because you might be in some building having a moment, and sometimes we can just channel that memory and that knowing and feeling that breeze and that wind blow through your hair and seeing divine outcome in whatever it is you're working through. Right? So we can also use that as a recall to say, everything right now, just like that breeze blew through my locks and the rain came, and everything in each moment just flows and is blessed all the time. All the time.
Gratitude.
Good, good. And but when I say get outside, I mean like sit outside and have your tea. I know it's getting warmer now where you are, but no matter what the weather, get outside daily. Not going in and out, but intentionally spending time outside.
Anyone else before we close out? All hearts and minds are clear.
I have a random question.
Of course I did.
Wait, what'd she say?
I said I have
I was waiting
Did
for
she
you
say
to say something, and because you already been told it's time for you to go to the woods and the jungle, and so you do need to talk to her.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't gonna speak on that. I figured I would try to reach out to you later. Because you said 2025. Although I'm ready to go this year, if we could figure that out, that would be great. But Miss Tracy, you said like you're the only human per se in your area. Like what type of animals have you seen, like, that you weren't expecting to see maybe?
Where I am, I see armadillos, deer. When we first came, I saw a jaguar, all the snakes, boas, parrots, all the bird. We have 130 species of birds. I have 5 species of monkeys, some that are almost as tall as me. Let me see.
That's a gorilla.
Deer. Yeah. Well, it's the howlers, the howler monkeys. The howlers are a nice size. But when I first came, I had a meeting with all the animals. Now, in my mind, I was on the veranda and I had a welcome meeting, welcoming myself to the forest. And I said, look, there'll be no hunting. Everybody's safe, and we will just live together. And that's how it's been. Anybody who comes, I had one person, it was a crazy moment that actually a monkey had fallen from a tree and one of my guests grabbed it and the whole forest was screaming. Like all the monkeys were screaming. And I was like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so you just visit somebody and you just gonna capture their family and take them home? Like, really? Like, no. You have to let him go. It was the most beautiful moment. And as soon as he let him go, the forest got quiet. And there is no in my mind, like I think it was Valentine's Day, the white-faced monkey. So even synchronicity. Before I left the States, I pulled up monkeys in Guyana and I drew the white-faced monkey. It's all beautiful black hair with this white face to print on a t-shirt. Soon as I got to Guyana, the guy living here, I showed him the picture and he said, oh, come. So from the internet in North Carolina, me drawing the picture, me showing Zach said, come, and then showed me the actual monkeys living in the trees right here on the property. So the illusion.
So often we see, we have downloads of imprints of our future in some aspect, but not realizing
all the
imprints of what's to come. Because you're like, why am I trying to monkey? But you called it forth. So going back to our power and using the creativity to call it forth.
Right. There is no butterfly that you can draw that doesn't exist. You can do any color combination. And that's why I said living in nature, what it does is it connects you to that mystical magic, right? I had my uncle had just transitioned and I was telling my cousins, we were on a video chat. I said, well, Uncle Toady, I said, just be open because he's going to show up now in all types of ways. And as I said that, a hummingbird came zoop right into the video and was right there. My cousin was like, what's that? I was like, Uncle Toady. There he goes. Zoop. He's a hummingbird. Like I said, it called just right. And it's not about like, oh, freak out. It's just the knowing. And I think that's why, it's the importance to me of being in nature so that you can really have that ongoing like interface with that. Like when you're in a sterile build, like you need to get out where things are living, where things are living and you can connect beyond just human interaction, to really be connecting, with your birds in the yard and get those, and the songs those birds are singing, sing that song. I did a recording this past weekend because I got stuff to sing about. And I don't like to sing words. I don't like to remember words. I want to just sing. So I've learned to use my voice as an instrument beyond just singing words. And I found somebody who I can play with who gets it. And we've both been channeling Wayne Shorter. Like, it's just been absolutely amazing. And so the birds come, the animals come, sing back to them. They're bringing you a song. Sing back, talk. Like you said, when you said bye, the bird said, okay, for real. Because why not? Why can't you talk to a bird? Why not? The bird, when I came home from Tobago, we were doing a construction project in the house. The mop mop bird came in the house and sat on the sink and was like, yo, what's up? All of us looked and we were like, oh, that's Warren. Because that's what Warren would do. He would sit in the middle of any construction project we did. Boom, just so. Just so, you know? And when he made his transition, I said to him, look, I know how to do divorce, but this transition thing is new to me. So you know what I need. You know what's going on here. So send me everything I need. Let's just do this like this. Amazing. Amazing. Right? So there's no such thing as lost. Oh, and I want to say this out loud. There has been this moment created where people are saying that you can inherit trauma, generational trauma. Okay, my personal vibe is that it is such a disrespect to my ancestors to think that I'm inheriting any kind of trauma or anything bad from them. They have given me a foundation. It's for me to take that foundation, what works, works, and let the rest go. There is no thing like now I'm going to carry. No. I believe that because people of color, especially, are beginning to really fly, that there's energy that says we got to clip their wings a little bit because they're getting a little bit too much. So let's introduce the idea that they're carrying all this shit from the past. So let's give them a little load because they're getting too light. And it's bullshit. Everybody has their divine journey. Everybody has their divine offerings. And to be anything but grateful to anyone who has come before us for what they have brought to us. That's all we're here to do. No trauma, no, no. You know, I really, you know, if you're in that space, to really explore that moment, because it's not your burden to carry. There are no burdens to carry. None. You know, we're free. Everybody's free. We have free will. We can choose moment by moment. And remember, it's your story. So if your story ain't working out, then write another story. It's simple. It's yours. It's completely yours. So write your divine outcomes all the time.
Karen, I think you was wanting to say something.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you was listening.
No.
Okay, well, Latoya, you have something you want to say?
I was gonna say I agree with that. I tell people that all the time. It was like, your grandmother's issue isn't your issue, So something that we can just focus on now, like we can change the narrative of what happens like in our lives, we can acknowledge what happened in the past, but what can we do to move forward? But no, I resonate with everything that you were saying. I do a lot of it. I mean, I don't be going around shaking my chest, but the other stuff I do.
Try it. Titty shake, titty. You said her chest. I said your titties.
Yeah. So I was saying, but I do tell people they should walk around naked, just in general. People should just be free with their body. I think that's very, people are so taboo about stuff like that. I'm like, why? I mean, everybody got the same stuff you got. It might be small, big, but it's all the same at the end of the day. So if you're comfortable within your own skin, that's what I got from it too. And everything else will flow. so in our life as shamans. So the more comfortable we get with us doing this and working, it'll also flow freely when working with clients.
Latoya, you gonna skinny dip in the water with us in?
I've skinned it before.
I didn't say that. I said with us.
I mean, I'll do it with y'all, but yeah, I'm not afraid to jump in the water.
You might feel like you're ready to shake your titties in the water when we skinny dip.
Thank you, Latoya. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, tremendous gratitude for this journey. Tremendous gratitude. And I don't know if I think we mentioned before, Asha, when you were just talking about the connections and the journey from me sharing the Reiki journey with you, and the sister that my last partner shared with me is a tantric goddess. So I look at, when we just look at energy, Reverend Charmaine, she's on Instagram also, and that's who I did my last piece of becoming a master with her, and embracing our tantric self also. That's a whole nother beautiful layer and journey that I know Asha got coming up next.
I was getting ready to say that's next, and that's kind of like what you say. I think is the beautiful layer, because when we talk about sexual energy, not really understanding the power of it, it can overpower us. And so the levels of going through the awareness of Reiki and awareness of self, Reiki master releasing the ego, and now they're learning the shamanic of becoming one with the elements. I think then the next level, you're right, is to understand about the sexual energy, because you can understand it in a higher heart and up here than the lower energies to understand the power, because people don't really realize we go back to our orgasmic and blissful is been looked at as something negative. And I would say all the things that were taught to us not to do is really what we need to focus on, because there was a reason they kept us from it. So it only many of us that do go through this, everybody kind of goes through this sensual awakening. They're like, what do I do with this energy now that I'm open? It's that kundalini is and now the tantric part helps you to channel it and use it as a power, but you have to be disciplined within yourself to understand so it don't overpower you. Because if you know you have the energy, however, with even out intercourse to cause bliss, it does kind of make you feel different. But that's what life is. I think that's what Tracy is saying. That's what life is. If it's raining, if it's not, it should feel orgasmic to you. And that's what it's about. But if you are not, if you're not in your body, if you're not in yourself, you ain't gonna get that. So I do feel is that there's layers, but there's layers to this shit. It is. And I think the act of sexual healing energy is very key to many of us. If we understood how some of our illnesses that we have could be transmuted through sexual energy and understanding. I think one thing we have to learn, it don't go, your sex drive should not go down as you get older. One thing I've learned, I've been around people into the 80s and 90s, men and women that are still enjoying sex. It's no such thing. If so, like Tracy said, our American lifestyle has minimized our sensuality and our sexuality. It's making us sick. And when we don't have a sex drive, our kidneys are not functioning at optimal level. Our chi is low, because that should be our drive. It's our human nature. So it is another layer to this. And this is where you are understanding that to be able to really process and really understand that level of healing and exchange of energy to a whole higher aptitude. So yes, the temple is coming. All right, beautiful souls. It's raining. It's not so pleasant outside. I think I may go outside in the rain tonight and just let it sprinkle on me. And I was with the fire last night, so I might as well go out here in the rain tonight. So I love you all. Tracy, I guess eventually we might need to have an online fashion show, because I want the ladies to really see your dresses and your materials that you make, your tie-dye outfits that you do. So just know when we go, it's going to be a creative thing when we go. Tracy has already said, I don't want an agenda when you do a retreat here. She was like, I want you to do whatever you want to do at any point in time. If you want to dance, If you want to make beads, if you want to draw, if you want to, she has a winery. She makes wine. So, you know, we just be lit. And I know they got the best green there. So we are coming. We are coming. It's all in divine time. And I'm really looking forward. I had to get over my issues with nature, and Rex is even helping me that with that local. He has like 30 acres of land and we're going camping on. So I've got out of this thing in nature and then fell in love with being outside. So I'm ready to get into the black water and skinny dip. I'm ready to get baptized.
Good.
Asha, when we going, look, one thing at a time. And I still got to get to Sedona in October. So it's stages to this. We going. But Tracy, when is the best time? What's the end season over there? What's the best time to travel? I know you may say anytime, but is there a better time?
Yes, exactly. You know, I'm going to say anytime. The best time is when y'all decide to come.
Got it.
You know, I mean, in terms of, I always look at the moon. I look at the moon cycles, you know, so if we do something around full moon, then we just look at wherever the moon is going to be. You know, that's the only agenda is our bonfire is with the full moon. That's it. Okay. Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a beautiful night. Again, thank you, Tracy. I love you. I appreciate you. And y'all, thank you for showing up for yourselves tonight. We love you, and I appreciate each one of you.
Thank you.
Good night.